It's an NRL news update. Subscribe to SEN League on YouTube and the SEN podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Alrighty, Peter the Bomber Bedell, who is won't say he's a regular, but he's certainly featured and shared all on the Mowers Club, which you'll get on Saturday mornings. Mitchie's part of that, the great scope, he's the captain. And here's what Peter Bomber Bedell has to say through the Daily Telegraph and the Courier Mail. Parramatta Eels win the bidding war for Josh Addo Carr. Addo Carr has agreed terms on a 2-year contract after successful talks with his management and the Eels on Thursday night. Here's what Peter Bedell had to say about Josh Addo Carr last night on Sports Day.
He will be a Parramatta for the next 2 years. So Josh Addo Carr is a Parramatta Eel, and they will formalise. I think he's agreed to terms tonight following a meeting with Parramatta's hierarchy. He's met the new coach, Jason Riles. Riles has been impressed with him, and they will look to formalise a deal over the next 48 hours. But Josh Addo Carr will be at Parramatta in 25 and 26. I think, look, Parramatta, from what I'm told, it's around that $350,000 to $400,000 a season mark, which is probably not bad value if he delivers.
Oh, that's Bomber. I think that's outstanding value.
Really good value for Fox. Yeah, they've got him obviously at a discounted price because everything that's gone on. Jason Riles has come in and already made some big changes there, and
$350 for the Fox.
One of the players he moved on was Mike Acevo, who was a left winger. So you'd imagine it could be a straight swap for. What do you reckon Acevo would have been on? About 500-600? Or
maybe close to 5.
Closer to 5?
Yeah.
So
I think the winger market, by the way, I think it's underdone.
Same.
But I do think he would have been on 5 or so. But it is underdone. They save tries, they score tries, the contribution at the backfield. And that's why I think, Zach Lomax, I know he's been on our show and he's a great fella. He was adamant he wants to wear number 4 for Parramatta.
Yep, I've seen that.
But there's a world.
All right, do you want to get into that quickly, the scopism?
Yeah.
So I was listening to one of the clips from SEN, and it's one of those things. Sometimes when you do content, you don't realise you do so much.
Yeah.
You say the
but
same.
I love
sort
it.
of,
I don't want you to slow down on it.
No, I won't.
No.
But and this is a hint. This is for some of the listeners, whether it's on SEN or levels. Whenever I say, "Is there a world?"
Yeah.
In my mind, there is definitely a world.
Yeah, that's right.
So put it that way.
Yes.
I'm trying to either get you.
Is there
Fletch,
a world? Well, the answer is already yes.
In my mind, it's yes. And I'm trying to convince either you. I'm trying to. I didn't until you said it.
Yes.
And you, I guess. In your world, you were sort of trying to get Bear's head on your side with it. I started thinking to myself, I say that a lot. And whenever I say that, I'm trying to get Mace to agree with the world that I'm living in.
Yeah, you're not telling them, but you're sort of leading them. I like that. I like that. I tell you what, is there a world where there's a hunk of a man called Tim Mannah that could join the Run Home with Joel and Scope today on this beautiful Friday? Rugby League's most generous man. It does say nicest guy in rugby league, which he also has that man on, but he's a very generous man. He's beautiful. Timmy Mannah, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Phil. That's a beautiful intro.
Oh, mate.
I miss you guys. I feel like I'm playing footy again. The season's finished. I'm in an off-season break, but you guys are the hard workers, the coaching staff, that continue to work all the way through.
It's almost like we've got to call each other to catch up for a training session midweek, Timmy. Like when you go on off-season for a bit, you enjoy the first couple of weeks, then let's catch up, let's get together, let's have a train, let's have a coffee.
Yeah, that's right.
Were you a closet trainer? I was. I'm unashamed about it. I was embarrassed about it early in my career where about 3 or 4 weeks before preseason starts, I'll start training on my own to get a bit of a head start. So when I come back, I'll get a bit of an advantage over everyone. Did you ever do any of that when you were playing?
Unfortunately, that's what let me down at Parramatta, Timmy. I wish I was a closet trainer. I think I'd sort of worry about a week out. As my career progressed, I think I got a little bit better as I got older. But it's one thing I look back on, and we were just talking before, Timmy, about the professionalism in the game and how hard the game is now and how well they treat their bodies, mate. It's one of those things I wish I'd been better at for sure.
I wasn't a closet trainer, Timmy, in case you're wondering about that. I do have a few firsts, though. There's a story for another day. I was the first player ever to be Hopawadi'd.
Yeah?
Yeah,
really?
I'll tell that story another time.
Yeah.
Maybe after the ad break. Stick around here on SEN, the home of rugby league.
That's a good teaser.
But I was also, too, the very first back to find their way into the Fat Squad. Yes. But anyway, Timmy, forget about that. There's a back who's back, and he wants to prove a point, and he's heading to your land of Parramatta, the old blue and gold. What do you think about the Fox signing?
Well, I was just asking the great tourist off air just to make sure it's confirmed, because I've had my foot off the accelerator when it comes to the news. So if it is confirmed, I think it's a great signing by Parramatta. I think it's when he first got in Strife, I just thought whoever gets him, it's going to be a good pickup, because I've always said it's not just about what he does. Like, he's obviously a freak of a player. He's got speed. He's a good finisher. He's tough. But it's the energy he brings to a team. He just lifts people around him. And you saw him do it when he first got to the Dogs. And people just felt more confident around him. And I think, Parramatta, you start looking at that backline now. Mitchell Moses, Dylan Brown in the halves. And then you've got Zach Lomax being added, Penicillini on the other centre. It's sounding like a very dangerous backline. So I'm excited to have Addo Carr if that's the case.
Well, Timmy, Scopey and I were going through this. It probably looks like all fully fit. Iongi, the fullback, the young kid from Penrith, who ran for about 300 metres on debut. Fox, Simonson on the wing. Lomax, Penicillini, Brown and Moses, Scope.
It's a good backline.
Yeah.
Great backline.
Yeah, it's been reported to me. Pete Bedell was reporting that it's around 300 to 350,000. So if that is the case, mate, me and Sugar were just saying before, feel like that's really good value for an Origin, an Australian player, and it's not like he's over the hill as well. No. He's had a couple of injuries in sort of the last 12 months, but if he can get that right, mate, I think it can be a really good pickup for Parramatta.
100%. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of Mitchell and Dylan. So with someone like him on the end of the line, it's a lot of opportunities to get created. And you saw he did the Bulldogs, and with all due respect to the halves of the Dogs when he first started, they didn't have a lot of opportunities to deliver him, but he ended up finding his feet and creating some opportunities. So, mate, he's going to be great. I really love what Rosie's doing. Rosie, I got to him speak at a lunch a couple of weeks ago, and it was really refreshing to hear him talk about his plans for the Eels and what he wants to set up. He's got a great opportunity to have a bit of a blank canvas and build a whole new culture that he can see the direction of, and he's got the support from all the higher ups. But he's doing it right. He actually knows what needs to be done, and he's making the steps to get it done. The Gustafson call, I can understand why fans will probably be a bit torn about that. Personally, I was a bit torn. I'm a huge Gutho fan. But I kind of understand what Riley's trying to do. He's like, okay, I've got a chance here. You only get a chance to be a head coach for the first time once, and he wants to make sure he does everything his way, and you can't mock him for that.
No, absolutely. Hey, Timmy, we've got to run. You know how the old radio stations run. We've got to get out of here, but there's mixed reports, of course. A lot of people saying, here's one, for example. It says, Josh Addo Carr is charged with drug driving, lied about it, and served no punishment from the NRL. He is sacked from the Bulldogs because of this, and rightly so. How and why is Parramatta then allowed to sign him? It's ridiculous. Whereas a punishment for his crime, the NRL has no standards whatsoever. That's what's some of the text coming through. I personally think he's not a bloke who's been checkered with many, many mistakes. Yes, he made a big mistake there. I think he'll bounce back in a major way. Timmy, short and sharp, mate. We appreciate that. Thanks for joining the run home.
Yeah. Where do I who do I send an invoice to? Joel?
Yeah, send it to the Scotsman. He's paying cash today. That's the tourist.
Roger that.
See you, Timmy.
Have a great one, boys.
See you, Timmy.